Walter John Sears, along with my good friend and colleague Frank Stewart.
Fumble in the backfield. Oh my goodness! Just the way I designed it. You brought the coverage of high school football in the last 10 years to a level that a lot of people throughout the state marvel at.
Yeah, Commish, I got plans tonight, but I really want to see the game. So I'm going to need you to start that at 10 o'clock instead of 6. Listen, need you to rewind that last play for me. But
pause it when his foot comes down.
From Ralph Wilson Stadium, it's the Class 2A Championship as the Orchard Park Quakers will host the North Tonawanda Lumberjacks in a rematch of a game earlier this season. Frank Stewart here, along with my good friend and colleague Walter John Sears on the sideline, and up in the booth with me, Mark Collins. And Mark, a great night for football, a cold night weather-wise, a strong wind blowing from left to right, too. That'll impact the game, but these teams are ready.
Yeah, I'm glad Walt lost the flip, and he's down on the sideline, Frank, and I'm up here in the booth. But this should be a good one. As I said, they met in the first week, and here we go with the toss. This is a big, obviously, who's going to get the ball first?
Yeah, the Orchard Park Quakers in their customary maroon and silver uniforms.
North Tonawanda won the toss, deferred their choice to the second half.
Well, North Tonawanda wins the flip, and they defer their choice. Orchard Park will have the opportunity to say what they want to take possession of the football, and they'll line them up as the captains are out there for both sides. But both these teams come in with records of 8-1. The first game of the season, Orchard Park went up to North Tonawanda.
We'll receive down here.
And at North Tonawanda loses on their home field, Mark, 22-14. Turnovers hurt North Tonawanda that night, and the strong special teams and playmaking of Orchard Park, with especially Ron Fulton having a big game that night, took the game away from Eric Jancy and the opener of the season. But since then, North Tonawanda's gotten better week after week after week.
You know, and sometimes that's not bad especially for Coach Frank. You know, his team gets beaten the first week, and the coach can get in the locker room and say, hey, you guys aren't as good as you thought you are, and we got a lot of work to be done. And and it sets the precedence for the season, and they respond and they go undefeated the rest of the year.
That's a very good point. There's number 21, and that is Ron Fulton. Question whether he'll be playing much. He'll be trying to go on defense at a quarterback position. On offense, he's a game breaker, but he's got a bad leg also. And question whether he'll be able to get out there on offense, but you never know. With Coach Gene Tundo, if he can get a player out in the field and he can score points, he's going to be out there, Mark.
Yeah, and it's always difficult, especially, in your junior, senior year. You're in a big game, and, the worst thing possibly, you get an injury, but, you're going to try and give it a go, and especially here on the turf, though, it could be a little more difficult. They're used to playing on grass, and you play on turf with leg injuries, Frank, much more difficult.
Yeah, you're right about that. Back to deep to return the kick for the Orchard Park Quakers will be Andy Pace. He's a game breaker, leading rusher on the team throughout the season, number 25 back there. And teeing the football up at the 40-yard line. There you look at his teammate who's going to be returning with them. And that is number 40, lining up deep to return. And the Orchard Park Quakers giving us some last-minute changes to the rosters. Let's see if we can come up with these names and numbers, as number 10 will tee it up for NT.
And isn't it the last thing you said before our meeting when we broke, Frank? You cannot give us any new numbers just before the start of the game.
Well, we got one, so it's Joe Caligari. Caligari, number 40, back there with Andy Pace. So Joe Caligari has tremendous speed, as Nick Fetterman will be teeing it up, number 10, for the North Tonawanda Lumberjacks. And there's Coach Gene Tundo. He's been in this game a lot. They even call this field his team's home field as it comes to playoff time. They seem to get here, and they seem to do well, Mark.
Yeah, well, and I think, though, with North Tonawanda, though, these teams, they've played each other quite a bit in the playoffs, Frank. I think they're pretty familiar with playing here, too. So I don't know if there's that much of a home field advantage. Obviously, Orchard Park right down the road. But, this should be a good one. There's some good players on both sides of the ball. Scalise, big linebacker. We'll see. This is interesting to see him kicking off.
And Fetterman gets his toe into it. It's an end-over-end kick coming down to the 14-yard line. And this is Caligari as he's able to run out to the 24-yard line. And the Orchard Park Quakers will bring their offense on the field, and they'll be led by their quarterback. And it's a junior quarterback getting the start here for the Orchard Park Quakers, Matthew Ciambella, a 6'1", 190-pound quarterback. He hits a pretty good percentage of his passes, about 57% on the season. He's thrown for 4 touchdowns. They don't ask him to do an awful lot throwing the football. His job is to hang on to the football and run the quarterback, or the plays called in from the offensive coordinator on the sideline. His job is not to lose the football game, Mark, and that's been Orchard Park football for a lot of years now. Ciambella with 2 running backs behind him. It's going to be the deep back hitting the football, and that's going to be Andy Pace, stacked up as he goes out over the 25, maybe to the 27 on his forward progress. Hit right there. Let's take a look at as they unpile some of the other offensive players for the Quakers in this Class 2A championship, Section 6 championship. As we look at the big guys up front, they do have big guys with Gasowitz, Delmar, Smith, Weber, and Calabro getting the start up front. Latke, Murphy's a big tight end, and Jakimowicz is a good wide receiver. Ciabella, the quarterback, and there's Pace, and the running fullback up in front of him will be Kellerman. And let's go to Andy Pace again on this next carry as he takes the ball out from the 27 to the 31, so another 3-yard pickup on the play. And this is Quaker football at its best, Mark, as just see Andy Pace get his hands on it. Let's go to the defense for a moment with the North Tonawanda Lumberjacks coming in with a record of 8-1, and they've gotten their defense righted. They've held a lot of teams in check throughout the season. Harris, Port, Takix, Latanzio, the big guys up front. You got Scalise, Julian, Pauline, and Miller. And then your deep backs will be Fetterman, Traber, and T.J. Baker. Third down play and 4 for the first down. They're going to give it to Pace one more time. He's got the first down out over the 35, and he stumbles out. Fumble, loose ball. And the Tonawanda Lumberjacks, or North Tonawanda Lumberjacks, hope they have it. Let's see what the call is going to be as they stop the clock. And they're going to say his knee was down on the ground before the ball popped loose. More than enough for the first down out over the 40 to the 41.
And that's very fortunate for Pace right here. You know, you can't turn it over, especially in big games right here, Frank. You see, he's very good inside the tackles. I mean, he knows how to follow his blocks, but right there.
Well, that looked like it came
yeah,
out.
it looks like that doesn't look like the ground. He landed on his back there. It looks like that just kind of popped out. They got a break on that play.
And Andy Pace is getting a lot of opportunities in the early going. I believe that's 5 straight carries for Andy Pace. As he takes the ball out over the 40 or to the 44-yard line, 3-yard pickup again. There's your quarterback, Ciabella, and so far it's Andy Pace up the middle. They're running behind the big guys. When I say big, I mean big. Weber goes at 275. Murphy, the tight end, goes at 265. And they like to run behind those guys. Just underway here in the first quarter. And 1 first down picked up, and here comes Pace again looking to pick his hole. And this time they stack him up after a short gain. The forward progress will take him out to the 46. And a host of tacklers knock him down, including Steve Julian, who's a very active linebacker wearing number 36. Very solid tackler. And let's look at the replay one more time. And Mark, he's got the options here, what to do with the football.
And you see there, there was a hole, eventually they're going to close it. He doesn't hit it as quick that time. And Scalise, you see, comes in the picture, fills that hole. But as I said, he's good inside the tackles, Pace, knows how to follow his blocks.
Third down play, maybe a passing down. 5 for the first down. Ciabella throws it over the middle, and it's caught by they say no, it was dropped by the receiver that time. And that was number 88, Chris Murphy, the tight end, who had possession for a moment, lost possession as he was hit hard, maybe short of the first down, right at midfield. So the punting team comes on for the Orchard Park Quakers. It'll be Matt Solomon with the return man dropping back deep all by himself there. And that should be Shabetta, I believe, to return this punt into a strong breeze. Standing inside his own 35-yard line, waiting for the center snap. It's pretty good. And the kick is on its way, a spiral that the wind's going to grab. And it's going to take a sideways hop and out of bounds for the North Tonawanda Lumberjacks as they'll bring their offense out onto the field. And we'll see who the quarterback is going to be here as they get a 34-yard punt and no return. Make that a 24-yarder into the wind. And there's your quarterback. That's Scott Gregson, a 5'10", 165-pound sophomore, getting the opportunity to show his stuff. He got the opportunity to play starting in the 3rd game of the season. Mark, he's really done well for the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, I caught him against Tonawanda. He's North Tonawanda, and I think that was the game where he really just proved himself. It's his job, Frank. I mean, it's his job. He runs this team, has good control of the offense.
You'll see a lot of different formations as here's the option to the left side, and this is Gregson. Gregson will love to do that. You just talked about. There's a flag down. There may be a face mask added onto this one as he gets almost 9 yards out to 39-yard line. Tackled by Kellerman on the play, and there's the call. So a good start here offensively for the North Tonawanda Lumberjacks. You see how quick he is. He's a great athlete.
Yeah, and that's why I talked a little bit before the game, Frank. I think it's really the key is the option where they can shut it down.
Well, let's take a look at the rest of the offensive unit for the North Tonawanda team as there was a face mask call there. It's Liberto, Reckett, Port, Farr, and Castrua. The guys up front, the receivers are Traber, Zorich, and the tight end is Julian to the strong side. Scalise will be quarterback from time to time. We go with Sheehan and Sean Shabetta. Those guys will handle the football an awful lot in this game. 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line, a 5-yard penalty added onto the play. And there's an inside handoff, and the dive play goes for nothing. As the defense, big guys up front stack up the running back, and that is number 33, Sean Sabetta, who runs very hard, 5'9", 160-pounder. Let's go to the Orchard Park defensive side of the football. And when you look at their defense, you look at the size of their players up front, notoriously a big line defensively. It's Murphy, Weber, Surface, and Ashakanlu who gets the start at the right end. Kellerman's a very active linebacker with Calabro and Varela. And then your deep backs will be Jakimowitz, Fulton, Phillips, and Tom Mitchell. Pro formation for many parts of the game, and then you'll see some variety sets from the Lumberjacks. As they're looking at 2nd and 9, a little motion there, and there's the handoff. And it's going to be 33 Sheehan, and Sheehan is with 33 Shabetta. He's stopped up right there at the line of scrimmage. No gain at the 45-yard line. Sean Shabetta and Shinkalu, the right defensive end, is able to come up and make the stop.
Yeah, and that's what they have to do, Frank. It's going to depend on how disciplined Orchard Park is to play this option. Because with Gregson, he's really come into his own. He really runs the option well. He makes good reads on the corner. You got to be disciplined. Everyone's got to take their man. You got to hit that dive man. You got to make sure they come to the corner. You got to play that. And then the quarterback and the pitchman. Those are the two important people. They got to be able to come through on their assignments. Orchard Park on defense.
And they're going to take the quarterback dropping back to throw the football over the middle. His receiver just beyond his reach. As flashing across the middle there was number 19 for the Lumberjacks. And trying to make a play, Justin Gers, a senior at 5'8", 152 pounds. So Gregson's first pass of the game falls incomplete. With the wind at their back, they'll be punting from their own 45-yard line. There's Eric Jancy talking to his quarterback as they come to the sideline. Let's look at the special teams for both sides. And it's the Lumberjacks who'll be punting in this situation. 2 punts, 1 for each side so far. It's Fetterman, the kicker punter, Port, the snapper, Scalise, the holder. The punt return people are Sheehan and Davis, along with kick returners. And this is Orchard Park. Lally's your kicker, Solomon the punter, Phillips is the snapper, Eustace will be the holder, Pace and Latke will be returning kicks. Long count, and the snap a little high, but the kick has gotten away. It's off the side of the foot, floating, and it's going to go out of bounds. Pretty good kick, actually, as it ends up inside the 20-yard line. They'll mark it at the 19. So the Quakers, with Latke back there on the return, let it go out of bounds. But and a 35-yard punt.
Yeah, heads up play by Fetterman right there, Frank. You see how the wind can affect the snap. It looked like it was going to come right into his hands, and then at the last minute, it almost goes over top of his, his helmet, and he makes a nice play to grab the football. And you can look at Gene Tundo there.
Well, where's Gene's hat tonight on a cold night like this? He always wears a hat. Not tonight.
He's got the hood on the back. I'd be putting that up, but yeah, it was a good play by the punter just to get that off.
7:18 left in the first half. Here's a wide pitch. They're trying to get some running room into the secondary and out over the 25-yard line. Very solid play. Hey, Ron Fulton, we just talked about that, Mark, as we came up. Would he play offense or not? And Ron Fulton checking his leg out there, gets a pretty good gain.
And there, it looked like he's got it. Obviously, it's a little change of pace with him in there. He's a little bit quicker than pace. And here, he doesn't look like he's 100%, Frank, but he's got good quickness, gets up into the hole. Nice job by the offensive line. It's just that change of pace by putting Fulton in there.
He's a playmaker. And on his 9-yard gain, they're looking at 2nd and 1, and they'll get more than enough as they crack the 30-yard line out over the 31. And as they unpile, well, it's going to be the fullback, Jordan Kellerman, getting an opportunity. 32 carries, 114 yards, and 4 touchdowns last season. Let's look at the replay.
And you see here, Kellerman, obviously a very solid fullback, and if you only need the yard, 9 out of 10 times he's going to get it for you. Good push by the offensive line there. Give him some space.
Well, you give the fullback at 6 foot and 205 pounds an opportunity to handle the football. So first down from their own 30-yard line. Bella, handoff. This looks like pace perhaps as he slides out to about the 34. Shifty running by Andy Pace. Interesting talking to his teammates up front, especially Jason Weber, who's really the big guy out there at 6'1", 275 pounds, wearing number 68. And let's look at the replay here, Mark.
And this is what he does, Frank. He follows, watch, he gets right on the tail of his lineman. See, there's Weber right there. He gets right up under Weber, and and a lot of times he'll put his hand right on his back, like Weber said, and he'll just follow me through the hole.
Well, Weber said it started to happen around the 3rd game of the season, and I think he said, I had maybe a little conversation with Andy. He said, you better be following me, because I'm a lot bigger than you. And Andy took his advice, and it's turned out very well. This play collapses in the backfield, a loss of yardage back to the 36-yard line. And Ciambella had a little trouble with the handoff with the center snap that time, lost the football, but was able to recover it.
Yeah, I think he just pulls out a little before the snap comes up and he gets it in his hands. I think he pulls out a little too quick there. Again, in big games where you cannot turn the football over, especially down in your own territory. But there's a look at Pace. He's had a great season, 12 touchdowns and 1,200-yard season, and he's just a hard worker, Frank. He's not real flashy, but he'll get you your 3-4 yards of carry.
3rd down and 9 here. Ciambella. Talk about him after this play as he's dropping back to throw. His second pass attempt of the game. It's complete. It might be Jakimowicz. No, it's Murphy, the tight end. A very short pickup on the play. And it's not going to be enough for the first down. So the Quakers will get their second chance to punt the football into this win with 4:55 left in the first quarter. Ciambella, as he comes off, Mark, the coach said he's got to hit his first couple of passes to gain confidence. If he doesn't, it's trouble.
Yeah, the coach did. He said, if he gets off to a quick start, we're confident and comfortable on the sideline, but it's key that he does. And I think he's played pretty consistent here in the first 2 series. He hasn't, made any real big plays, but has moved the ball.
Solomon's going to kick it away, standing at his own 21. Gets a good snap, plenty of time, gets a kick away. Oh, the wind's got this one as it floats and takes a backward bounce here. A great bounce for the North Tonawanda Lumberjacks as actually one of their players decides to jump on it. And that's number 2 out there jumping on it, Casey Pauline. I'm not sure why he did. Going to let it fall to it and stop on its own. Just about a 10-yard punt there into the strong wind. So, and team playing field position here with the wind advantage. Remember, they declined to take the football.
Yeah, and when you got a win like this, Frank, that's probably a smart move. And here you got to watch out. I mean, both teams, you got to be heads up when the wind's like this and it's kicking up. I mean, you could hit, and that's not a real smart play right there because the ball's going to be dead anyhow. If he jumps on that and it squirts out.
44-yard line will they start this drive from the Orchard Park Quakers side of the football field. And here's a wide pitch and not much coming here as the player is thrown out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage, handling the football there. Good pursuit on the play by the defensive linebackers. And the free safety, Jeremy Phillips, coming up to make the tackle on Billy Sheehan.
Yeah, and Sheehan, he's a kid I like. I did the one game this year, and I really liked him. He's a patient back, Frank. He's got they run this one counter. I'm sure we're going to see it tonight. I just like him. He's solid. He's got real strong lower body, and he's just got good vision. And when he gets in the open field, he's deceiving, too. He's a little quicker than he looks.
They gave him a yard gain on the forward progress, so it's 2nd down and 9 here with the wind at the quarterback's back. This quarterback is Scott Gregson, the sophomore. And he's going to keep this one. And he's going to crack inside the 40 and down to the 36-yard line. Decent gain on that play. And that's the advantage of having that option quarterback with good feet, good vision, and some strength, too.
And then, Frank, that play right there, that's the one that'll kill Orchard Park. He doesn't break it for a touchdown, but he loves this little play right here. When he just gets a read, he sees that little crease, he knows he's going to pick up 4 or 5 yards, and he's going to move those chains. And that's the one that's really going to hurt him if they don't play that right, because Gregson does a nice job reading that corner and cutting it up.
3rd down and a short 2 for the first down from the 36-yard line. Quarterback hands off, a little misdirection, but into the backfield, number 90 on top of the play. He's going to throw that for a loss. For the Orchard Park Quakers, Ben Calabro comes in, the linebacker. He blitzed and got into the backfield very quickly. Mark made the tackle.
Yeah, and that's discipline right there, Frank. When you're playing against an offense that runs these kind of plays, you have to read those linemen. When they pull, you know they're going the opposite way. And they tried that little trick counter right there, but that's just good discipline. Discipline by Calabro. He reads he gets his read. See the lineman pull? He goes down the line with the lineman, and sure enough, here comes the back.
Almost chasing the linemen as they pull. There's a timeout taken on the field by the Lumberjacks as Eric Jansen is looking at 4th and about 4. Inside Quaker territory with the wind at his back here in the first quarter. He wants to go for it, but he wants to have the right play call, so he goes over and talks to his team. And from the sidelines, we get a look at some of the coaching staff for the Orchard Park Quakers who do a great job. They're having fun out there. By the way, the referee for this one, Bruce Hoffman. His umpire is Jim Craig. The head linesman is Ken Thrun. Don Noble's your line judge, and the back judge will be Joe Jastrzemski.
And there's a defensive coach too. They know this is a big play for defense.
Now we're going to go down to the sidelines to Walter John Sears.
All right, guys, this is the 5th game, number 5, with the results the same. The wind's a big factor here. 15 to 25 miles out of the west, making it extremely hard to throw the ball downfield, so you have to go with short passes. And this might, in fact, favor Orchard Park because Scott Gregson's a running quarterback, and they play Matt Scalise more on defense. So with him running the football, Gregson, and getting it to his running backs, Billy Sheehan and Davis, they might play in the hands of North Tonawanda throughout this game with their running attack. Let's go back upstairs.
Well, you can hear the wind whistling through that microphone. Big play here for North Tonawanda in the first quarter. 2:34 left, a 4th and 4. Gregson, the quarterback. Long count. Handoff. No, he keeps it himself. He runs the option. He's successful. He's inside the 30, inside the 25. Still on his feet. Loose ball on the surface. Who's got it? Looks like OP's recovered. Inside their 15-yard line, Orchard Park comes up with a turnover.
It looks like Tom Mitchell comes up with a turnover. And yeah, there he is, number 82. That's a good play right there on the turf, Frank. When it's bouncing around in one hop, boy, he's right on top of it. Gregson, this is the play, though, I said is going to hurt Orchard Park. He reads it well. He cuts it up. This time he does break it into the secondary. Maybe perhaps tries to get a little too much here and does not wrap up on the football. But that's a good recovery right there when it's bouncing around. One hop.
Well, the Orchard Park Quakers dodged both. That would have been a first down. Deep into their territory. Now they get the football back, and this is Andy Pace. Andy Pace running hard from the 14. He's stacked up right at the 15-yard line. How many white shirts does it take to bring him down? Well, more than enough were there.
That's big number 8 in the middle there, boy.
Matt Scalise, he's a very solid linebacker, Mark, at 6'1", 230 pounds.
Yeah, he's a good one. He's stout in the middle. You watch right here, Andy Pace. He comes up and, boy, oh boy, he meets Scalise, and he's like, I just got hit by a truck there.
Yeah, all that forward momentum with all that speed and whack. You're going backwards in the split second.
He's a linebacker, boy. He likes to play that position.
They try Kellerman, the fullback, and a little quick hitter into the line, and again, he's dumped very quickly. Kellerman pushing off on the linebacker who tackled him on the play. That was Scalise, and Kellerman's getting an earful from the referee saying, calm down, big guy. Relax.
You're going to see that's going to be a good battle. He's going to be running into Scalise all evening.
Well, you see Scalise is hanging on a little bit longer, and he's saying, get up, let me get up, let me get up. And the official stepped in and stopped all the action. 1:19 left here in the first quarter. 3rd down and 9 into the win. Ciambella, 1 for 2 passing, I believe. This is a handoff and going nowhere. In fact, losing yardage is the running back on this play, and that's Andy Pace again. And Andy shaking his head saying, well, I don't think there was a hole there.
Yeah, and they're going to have a difficult time, Frank, with the weather the way it is. You know, it's tough throwing the football, and North Tonawanda is just, they're stacking everyone inside. And when you have Pauline and Scalise, you know, the 2 inside backers, it's tough running inside. And then they have, you know, they've got good defensive ends. They've got a good defensive unit, and they're just packing it in. And they're going to force Orchard Park to try and throw the football.
Matt Solomon, his 3rd punt into the wind. You see it's affected his average. Let's see if he gets this one away. The rush is on. They got close, and he was able to get it off onto the sideline. Not the best kick in the world, but he does pick up some yardage, as he was fortunate to get that away. They were going after the punter that time, Mark.
Yeah, and when it just makes the position so much more difficult mentally, I think, Frank, when you got the wind like this. You know, you're so worried about, is the snap going to get there, and obviously the pressure is coming on days like today because they know there's a good opportunity to block punts because the snap's not coming back as quick as it usually does.
Well, 32 seconds with the wind at their back. They spot the ball at the Quaker 34, so this is the 2nd drive start in Quaker territory for the North Tonawanda Lumberjacks. They had a sizable play game that was negated by the turnover last time upfield. Now they're going to run the fullback. The fullback's going to get down to about the 30-yard line before he's thrown back on the play. And that should be, let's see as they unstack. Well, we got the big lineman as they unpile there. And perhaps was Sean Shabetta again, the fullback, on the quick hitter.
Yeah, they're going to run that play. You're going to see that probably every series, Frank, just to keep Orchard Park, on their toes a little bit. And you got to keep them. You run that play so you keep that defense tight and then try and break it. But they had this quarter and they didn't get any points. They did. They take the win and it didn't work out for them.
You're exactly right, Mark. As we come to the close of the first quarter of play here in this Class 2A championship here at Ralph Wilson Stadium in Orchard Park after 1 quarter of play. No score. North Tonawanda nothing and Orchard Park nothing. You're watching A13 Sports. Well, it's starting the second quarter of play here, and the North Tonawanda Lumberjacks on a 2nd down and about 6. Almost no gain for Sean Shabetta, as he's a tough customer. Not the biggest guy, 5'9", 160 pounds.
That's good play right there by Murphy, though, defensive end. I talked to him in the meetings, and, those are reads, Frank.
Fumble came loose, and it was after the whistle, apparently, by the officials. They marked the forward progress stoppage by the running back, so it maintains possession for the Lumberjacks. And Gregson remains as the quarterback.
They haven't thrown the ball to Traburn. This kid's a terrific receiver. They haven't really put it up yet, but
he's lined up on the left side there. They're going to come his way with some blocks, and they're going to try a little end around, and running hard is going to be Andy Davis. Going to get close to the 31-yard line, short by a couple of yards of the first down, but in this territory going into the wind, Mark, as the tackle's made on the play by Tom Mitchell. You would expect that they'd be going on 4th and 2.
Yeah, right now it's just all about field position. You know, even if you don't, here's a look at it right here, Frank, that, you know, it's 3rd down. They know they're going to at least pick up a couple of yards and put them in a 4th down and, you know, makeable 4th down, about 2 yards. Even if they don't make it, they know they're still pinning them deep. And it's all about field position on a night like tonight.
Andy Davis goes 6'1", 172. He ran into 6'2", 195 Tom Mitchell. Good challenge there for both players. And Mitchell stopped him shy of the 1st down. So 4th and 2. Same formation for most of this game with those 3 running backs lined up behind the quarterback, Gregson. And he hands it off. Fumble! And it looks like the Quakers are going to recover at their 26-yard line. So Orchard Park comes up with another turnover to stymie the North Tonawanda Lumberjacks.
And I'll tell you, it looked like Gregson. He stuck it in there, Frank, and the fullback, I think, was expecting to pull it back out. He looked like he didn't even, you know.
Check that was Shabetta, but you're right. He was not expecting the ball the way he turned back.
Exactly. He was standing straight up, and, you know, he rode the fake out, but it looked like I think he thought Gregson was going to pull it back out.
From their 26, here go the Quakers. Ciambella throws it. He's got his big tight end, Murphy. Murphy all the way out to the 40-yard line. That's a 1st down. Big Chris Murphy, 6'4", 265 pounds.
I like that play right there. I mean, you know, he got a great target. I mean, 6'4", you're not going to miss him. He just pulls up, comes right up the seam, and he runs by the linebacker. And you see, it's going to. And what that play is going to do, you see Scalise coming in on the tackle. That's going to loosen it up a little bit now in the middle, Frank, because like I said, they had everyone in the box, and they caught Scalise looking in the backfield.
Exactly right. Pretty good gain on the play. And now the Quakers take a timeout. By the way, Murphy at number 88, talking to schools like Penn State, Syracuse, and UB. They think that highly of his potential as a huge tight end. I mean, 265 in high school with running ability.
He came into the meetings. You know, you look at that kid, and he's only in high school. And you look 3 years down the road, and he'll be a monster. I mean, he's got a solid body. He's a big kid. You put another 25 pounds on him.
With good hands too.
Yeah, and a great. Obviously he could play defense or offense. I think he's a good defensive end.
I don't think he leaves the field. He's just one of those players. And we go back to the first game of the season. The Quakers, Mark, with an 8-1 record. They started out strong, but they lost one of their good players, John Boyd, who was a game-winning type player, very solid, stalwart player on the offensive and defensive line. But they've been able to continue on, and it just seems that Orchard Park does very, very well in the sectionals here, taking championships. When they get the opportunity to get to Rochester against Section 5, they just can't get out of that situation. They can't win that game. Well, 1st down play. After the timeout, Ciambella throws again, and it's caught again. I believe that's Murphy one more time. They might keep going to the well there as long as they're going to let him run free off the line.
Well, if you remember the last series when they gave it to Pace a few times and he was just straightened up by Scalise in the middle, they said, we got to loosen it up. I mean, we keep, we're not going to pick up any yards running it in the middle. And this is the way they're doing it. It's just a short pass, and Ciambella looks pretty good. I mean, he's throwing the ball. He's got a nice tight spiral on it. He looks pretty confident, and he's off to a good start.
Yeah, they talked about he had to start strong, and so far he's throwing the ball pretty well. This opens things up, and there's Andy Pace into the secondary. Andy Pace elusive all the way inside the 40, inside the 30-yard line. The chase was on. As Andy's Pace is like a little skitter bug, water bug moving along there, Mark. He just slides those feet, and you can't touch him.
Yeah, and he's got great ability to pick up downfield blocks, Frank, but we just talked about it. That's loosening up the defense. You throw that little pass to Murphy twice, those linebackers are loosening up. They're looking for it, and that really helps out, and Mr. Pace is happy about that. He said, look, I finally got a hole to run into. Got a little delay, makes a little move. See how he follows his blocks downfield? Great play right there just to get behind his big tackle. Picks up about another 6 or 7 yards.
Traber with the tackle as this play doesn't go very far at all. A 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line, stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. As Pace again gets his hands on the football and hit right there by number 51. On the defense, the right defensive end is Adam Harris. See the replay of this one. Pace went nowhere on this one.
Yeah, Harris just reads it, goes right down, follows it right down the line, and look at Scalise. He just doesn't tackle you. He puts a little extra emphasis on it. He wants to make sure that you know he's around you.
Let's leave an imprint in the surface here. Well, look at this move by Ron Fulton. Fulton still on his feet. What a positive play. That turned out to be from almost nothing as he takes it to the 21-yard line. Ron Fulton got in the backfield for his 2nd carry. And there's Scalise again. Fulton, they're going to use him periodically, Mark, just to put a little fear into the defense.
Yeah, it changes up a little bit too, Frank. The pace, it changes a little bit. When Andy Pace is in there, they give it to him. He's in between tackles. Fulton, I'll tell you, but Scalise, look at him. He takes this block on, gets rid of this guy. He runs, he gets knocked over by his own man, but he's a busy football player.
Third down and about 4 yards for the first down. With the wind at their back, this is Pace following the blocks. It's a little bit of a counter, and it's all the way down to the 20-yard line. That's more than enough for the first down. As they pull the right side of the offensive line to the left side, Mark, and Pace again right on the tail of the big blockers out in front of him.
Yeah, you see Weber on a kick-out block right there. They just really know, they know each other real well, Frank. You see, watch here, Weber coming up. Kellerman's leading, but you see Weberman, he has the kick-out block on the end, and Pace, that, like I said, they know each other so well. He comes off his blocks, and that's kind of fun. When Weber was saying in the meetings, it's a good feeling for a lineman to just know that the back has a lot of confidence in you.
So turnovers hurting the North Tonawanda Lumberjacks in this first half. We're down to 7:25 left in the first half. This time the running back is stopped for almost no gain on the play. Once again, Andy Pace. Andy Pace has carried the ball probably 10, 11 times already in this first half. He's the workhorse. They like to give him the football because at any time, he doesn't have breakaway speed, Mark, but he's tough to bring down, tough to get a clean hit on.
Yeah, and when they have loosened the defense a little bit. You can see. This whole series, no one's really got stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. They've loosened it up, and obviously they've moved the chains, and now they're knocking on the door.
Second down and 10 from the 16-yard line. Quarterback Ciabella. Little pressure coming. He throws the ball, little screen pass. And this is going to be Pace. Pace has got blockers out in front of the slides inside the 10 and down to about the 8-yard line. It'll be a couple of yards shy, I believe, of the first down. But a well-designed play that time. Ciabella let the pressure come. Yeah,
that's a nice read. He lets the pressure come, gets rid of it. He doesn't really throw a real good pass, Frank. This is a great catch right here. That's a low catch. Nice catch by Pace. And he gets it upfield. And you'll always get that extra 2 or 3 yards. He hits and spins, but that was a big play. And Ciabella, he's definitely in the flow of the football game right now.
Timeout taken on the field again. As the Quakers have all kinds of players out there, too many out there. They had 13 trying to play against 11 marks. Somebody was not out there at the right time, and there's Gene Tundo saying, oh, come on, let's get this organized out here. Hey, how about that guy coaching there? Gene comes out to talk to him. But who was the guy that came in? Was it Steve Ferrantino that came in to talk to us?
Yes.
Steve Ferrantino, he's going to be out on the field right there. He's trying to avoid Gene Tundo at the moment because Gene's asking, what's going on out there? And Walter John Sears has somebody down the sideline. Let's join him now. And that's Steve's best friend.
Oh, Dick Gallagher, everybody loves you. High school sports, a lot of fun at the stadium again.
Oh yeah, 3 wonderful games. 2 last night and 3 today. Can't get any better.
Yeah, the wind's been a factor.
Yeah, particularly last night and today, but not as much as I thought.
I hear from Dave D, you're picking up pretty good so far, Guru.
Oh yeah? Well, you get lucky once in a while.
How about this game? They lose the big guy, Johnny Boyd. Then they lost Sean Moran. Fulton's banged up. Orchard Park, but yet they're holding their own.
Yeah, they hold their own. The key, I thought, to the game was North Tonawanda avoiding the turnovers. They already had 2. They can't afford to do that against the Quakers. Otherwise, they're going to wind up on the short end of the stick like they did in the first game of the season.
Stay right here, Dick. Let's throw it back up to the booth and we can come back.
Well, you did it at the right time, Walt, because that's a touchdown from Andy Pace on 3rd and 1 from the 7-yard line. Basically goes into the end zone untouched, Mark. One guy got an arm out at him, but that was a great play call coming out of the timeout.
Yeah, let's give credit to the entire Orchard Park staff, Frank. The offensive, coaches really did a nice job saying, that in that one series they stuffed us. They were too stout. We got to loosen up. They made a couple little calls with the tight end, loosened them up, and then got Pace on a roll. And his offensive line, boy, is really clicking. And they just open a nice hole. He barely gets touched and goes in. A good job by the QB. We're all on the same page.
Brian Lally to try this extra point. Good snap and the put down. And the kick is up, and it is good. So the Orchard Park Quakers taking advantage of that second turnover. Turn the ball all the way, run a long drive upfield. As we're going to take a look at the replay of the scoring drive, it goes 7 plays, 74 yards after the turnover.
Yeah, that's an impressive drive right there. If you look right here, look at, that's a big hole inside the 5-yard line where you don't see, he doesn't get hit, and you don't see anyone coming in with a different colored jersey in there. That's a great job of the offensive line. But like I said, a lot of credit has to go to the coaches, Frank, because they're the ones that make the adjustments. The players listen to the coaches, they make the adjustments, and they have to execute on the field. But a lot of credit to Gene Tundo and his staff.
And the mascot getting a little bit of workout out there as the Orchard Park Quakers go 6 minutes and 10 seconds off the clock on that 74-yard drive. 6:12 left here in the second quarter. And you got to be a little bit surprised if you're North Tonawanda Lumberjack. You've given up, you've moved the ball upfield, Mark, almost at will at times, pounding away, but then you give up the crucial play with the fumbles.
Yeah, and when you turn it over, Frank, you turn over the momentum too. I mean, when you're moving the football and you turn it over, next thing you know, they go 74 yards and they stuff it in the end zone on you. Now you got a whole different thought pattern coming out there. So it's crucial right here for them to, get the ball and move the football. But now they're going into the wind.
Exactly right. Place kicker out there to kick it off. As you see, 34. That's going to be Sheehan. He's back there along with Catalano this time. As the 38 for Orchard Park tees it up, that's Brian Lally. There's Sheehan.
I think he's the kid that really, this is the kid I think they got to give the football to. I think he can get him back in the game.
Long end over end kick, going to be fielded at the 10-yard line. And this is Sheehan taking it to the outside. Eluding a couple of tacklers. Hey, look at this guy breaking. Whoa, and he's hit from behind. A big hit as he crosses the 30-yard line. And coming and chasing him down, number 81. Got a hold of him and knocked him on his face mask that time, Mark. A solid play by Damian Cascino. So let's go down and join the guru of Western New York high school sports, Walter John Sears with Dick Gallagher.
Hard hitting going out there.
Yeah, right. And now with the touchdown, Orchard Park got, they've got all the momentum, and that team's going to get some offense in gear, or they're going to have problems.
Isn't it odd the way the games have gone as we're going to first down? And, the 2 games ago, Southwestern, they're behind Olean 13-7, getting out play, and they come back and win it.
Yeah, and get the extra point. The kid who kicked them in the semifinal starter got a field goal, got the extra point, proved to be the margin of victory again.
And then the last game, Iroquois just down and out, down 14-3. They pick up a fluke interception by Craig on a busted play, and then get a break on a botched punt, and they win the game.
Yeah, that was one of the most outstanding reversals I've seen in a long time, and it's just heartbreaking for the Newport kids. But you got to give credit to the Chiefs; they didn't give up even with the loss of Mammoth.
Well, Dick, it's always a pleasure to have you here. A huge crowd.
Thanks a lot.
All right, thanks. Back up to the booth.
Well, thank you, Walter. We're looking at 2nd down and 7 after a 3-yard pickup by Andy Davis for the Lumberjacks. 5:22 counting down here in the first half. And that's a dive play to the running back out to the 39-yard line. And as they unpile, it looks like it's going to be 33. And that's going to be Sean Shabetta, who will handle the football most of the time on the dive plays, just following the big guys. Murphy on the tackle, as you can see, big number 88. Decent gain on the play out, as we said, close to the 40. And they're going to be shy by about 1.5 yards necessary for the first down. And this is what they've done all game long. They've moved the ball. They've gotten some first downs. But again, the critical turnover has avoided or negated the opportunity for them to get an opportunity to score points. As we see Scalise now lining up in the backfield behind Gregson. Scalise lined up as a blocking back in this power formation. And they try the left side, and the running back is hit by the linebacker closing quickly. He'll have enough for the first down out to the 42-yard line. Again, that's Sheehan, 34, and hit on the play by strong running, or the strong tackle there, number 81, coming up quickly to close. And that's Damian Cascino again.
And you might not think about it, Frank, but that right there, that was a very, very big play. Just to move the chains. And this is the kid that I think is their best back. I mean, he carried the ball all season long. He's got the most carries and the most yardage on the team, and he really hasn't got the football tonight. I think he's the kid that really gets it done for him, but that was a big first down to move the chains.
Jeremy Phillips actually out of the tackle, 41. There's a wide pitch, trying to turn the corner. It's going to be into the secondary. It's going to be Sheehan. And Sheehan bounces it out over the 45 and up to the 48-yard line. He's got to hang on to the football. They're running pretty hard on the Orchard Park Quakers defense right now.
And that's what I like about this kid, Sheehan. I mean, you watch, when he gets hit the first time, he's got really strong lower body with the big legs. You can't arm tackle him. He'll bust tackles. He does it every time he gets the football. And on that one, he gets to the corner. They have a shot at him. He breaks the tackle, and he picks up, man, that's a good gain on first down.
6-yard pickup on the place. He goes about 5'7" to 180 pounds, a senior running back. As again, the Lumberjacks have been in Orchard Park Quaker territory a lot in this first half, but no points. This is 2nd and 4. Loose ball again on the surface. Who's got it this time? As they scramble around, fighting for possession, Quakers think they might have it. It's up to the official to make the call. No, and 33, Shabetta comes out of the pile with it. Wow. A loss of 1 yard on the play. They're just having trouble holding on to it.
I think it's a miscommunication here, Frank. Yeah, actually, again, it looks like Shabetta doesn't, I don't know whether or not it's Gregson. No, that time he puts it on it goes right through to the other side, and he doesn't really put it in right where it's supposed to be. You got to put it right in the pouch.
59, they're messing up the play. Corey Anderson getting a lot of playing time for the Quakers. 3rd down. Gregson looking to throw. Throws over the middle of the receivers there, and it goes off his fingertips as he takes a big hit from 82. The strong safety, Tom Mitchell, came up 6'2", 195 pounds, and he blasted the receiver who had a chance to make the reception. Gregson put it on the mark that time, Mark.
Yeah, I think he's looked good. I mean, he's throwing that tight spiral. That's a good pass. You got to catch that football. You know, the old saying is you're going to get hit anyhow, so you might as well catch it. And, you know, he gets a pretty good hit, but you got to hang on to that one. That's a big catch and a big first down.
Fetterman has not punted much in this game. He'll get a chance here. And a kick into the wind. It's a pretty good one, actually, as it takes a strong NT bounce. And the return man's on his knees there, Andy Bass, and he just catches the ball as it bounces right to him. He couldn't miss that one.
I think that's, you know, if you're going to teach it, that's probably not a bad way. He's like a shortstop, getting down with his body in front of it.
Nice punt there by Fetterman. The clock is down to 2:34. 35-yard punt into a tough win. And that's his second punt of the game. Same punt for 35 yards. Scott Fleetwood is up here, Mark. If you want stats, just look at this guy. He'll shout something at you. Does a great job.
He's giving me the sign language over there. I haven't quite picked up on it.
You'll know it by the second half. 1st and 10. And they're going to try Pace, and Pace is stacked up at the line of scrimmage. He slides out of a one tackle and maybe gets a yard gain out of it as they unpile inside their own 20-yard line. The most important thing right now for the Orchard Park Quakers is to hang on to the football. 2 timeouts left for the Lumberjacks. They'll probably try to use one after this next play if they can hold the Quakers down.
Yeah, you're going to look at here. There's only 2 minutes left. This is a crucial drive right here, and they're probably going to be a little conservative on this drive. They had, you know, success last time moving the football in between the tackles, and they don't want to turn it over, and they do want to run out the clock.
Second down at 9 yards for the first down. Power formation, no wide receivers. And it's going to be Pace, and Pace again, using that balance, following the blockers, is able to get out over the 20 to the 22-yard line, short of the first down. And do the Lumberjacks want to take a timeout here? We don't see one yet, with third down coming up.
You would think they would, Frank. I mean, you know, right now, I mean, they're going into halftime. You'd like to get the football back one more time and take a couple shots downfield.
Ciambella taking a lot of time from the sideline back to his huddle. And maximizing the clock as it's down to 1:20 left here in the first half. Third down, 5 yards needed for the first out. They've got to get out to the 27-yard line. Running formation. Quarterback hands off. This is Pace, stacked up right there. No, he bounces it to the outside and trying to get away from the tackler. They got him by the ankle. Put a rope around that ankle, just like they do on TV at the rodeo.
Right.
As Andy Pace goes down short of the first down. Now the timeout is taken by Eric Jancy with exactly 1 minute to go here in the first half.
That run right there, that says a lot about Pace. This is a great effort right here, Frank. Look, he gets up in there. He's stopped right here, but he's, you know, he's smart enough to bounce outside. And here he almost shakes it a little bit. Here he gets hog-tied. But a great effort by Pace.
You know, that's a tough position to be in as we see the run one more time from a different angle. But, you know, you've got one guy that's got you around the ankle right there, and you're trying to get away desperately. And then all you see all these other guys coming, you're saying, uh-oh, I'm not in a good position here. It's better to take the fall and just go down. The hit made there by Jeff Miller, who hung on for North Tonawanda.
He's really been, you know, he's been, again, steady in the backfield for him here in the first half. And
well, how about this, Mark? 16 carries for 77 yards. All right, for you viewers at home, we can't figure this out. Who's hiding behind that mask down there? One of our camera people taking an opportunity as we've rotated people down and in and out various times during these games because of the weather. Giving everybody a break. Fourth down in the yard, punting with the wind at his back is Solomon. Good snap, plenty of time to get the kick away, and that's a good one. High end over end kick. It's going to be fielded at the 40-yard line. And this is 34 Sheehan. Sheehan trying to take it to the outside. Sheehan with a little bit of room to run, cuts it back, and Sheehan's going to take it inside the 50 and getting tackled at the 44-yard line. So decent field position with 45 seconds left in the half and 2 timeouts for the Lumberjacks.
You know, and again, Frank, you see the arm tackles, he just shrugs them off. He's a strong kid. Plus, he knows how to, you know, he knows how to get out to the, he kind of lulls you sleep with a little bit on that fake inside, gets to the outside. He's got deceptive speed. He's giving a good back. I really watch this play right here. I mean, watch this. There's a tackle right there. See, a little arm tackle. He just shrugs that off, gets to the outside. Little forearm, straight arm there, cuts it back up.
Good cutback, gave him an extra 5 or 6 yards. Well, let's see if they throw the football. Gregson's got time as he drops back. Plenty of time, throws it deep. And his receiver, Travers, inside the 15 and down to the 11-yard line. Is that Scalise on the throw?
Yeah, that was Scalise.
Matt Scalise entered the game for a throwing situation. Scalise dropped back like he's been doing it all night and fired it down the middle of the field. The clock is moving. Well, it's not moving at the moment as they hustle downfield. They had to stop it to move the chains up, and the officials now say first and goal, apparently, from the 10-yard line, and Scalise spikes it.
And you almost know, you see him coming out of the huddle, and they get man coverage on Traber. And Traber, he hasn't touched the football, Frank. And this kid is a terrific receiver. He's got good speed. He gets great separation on this. Scalise just drops back. Look at great separation. Throws it right down the middle, right on the numbers. And a big play, but they're playing a man-to-man. Fulton's trying to cover him. I think it's a little bit of a mismatch.
Fulton closed the gap, though, to prevent the touchdown with recovering speed after the break. 33 seconds left. They spiked the ball, so we're looking at second and goal from the 10-yard line.
See if they get single coverage again at Traber.
Scalise dropping back, has a look at the left side, launches it up there, and it's deflected at the last second. Good coverage on the play by Fulton. The pass intended, I believe, for Traber again in the left corner of the end zone.
Yeah, see, on that time, though, they give him some help. They bring Mitchell from his free safety, and they play like a cover two, where Fulton just goes deep to the corner, and that's a wobbly pass. Good defense to get up in the air, but you see here's the free safety coming over, so he's getting a little help on the inside so that Fulton can play to the outside and get up and make that deflection.
Third and goal. 27 seconds left. Each team with a timeout available. Scalise dropping back. Pressure coming. Scalise is going to try the quarterback keeper, and he's going to be sacked. Sacked in the backfield. Getting there and making the tackle. 59, Corey Anderson. The junior lining up as a defensive lineman. Scalise trying to step out of that play, Mark, and maybe do a quarterback draw and get some positive yardage.
You see those Scalise.
Timeout. North Tonawanda. That's their final timeout.
Well, let's look at the replay.
See here, I got to give Orchard Park credit, Frank. They come after him. You know, they don't sit back. They put the pressure on him, and they come right up the middle. They get some good pressure. The linebackers are in there, and you see Scalise, though, after this play, he's breathing heavy. I mean, he's played a lot of downs here in the first half. Did a lot of defense on that long 74-yard drive. Made a lot of tackles. Now they got him in a quarterback, and that's one of the things that the OP coaches picked up on. They said when they saw him play Lockport, he was chasing people from sideline to sideline, and then they tried to put him in at quarterback.
Yeah, that's
he just didn't have it.
A lot to ask. He's got a good size, as we said, 6 foot 100 or 230 pounds. They're going to try a long field goal into a strong wind. This is Fetterman for a 31-yard try.
I think Orchard Park will be looking. They won't get faked out like they did in the last game.
Let's see what it looks like from the end zone. Everything looks good so far, and the kick is on its way. It's curving inward, and it's going to be short as the wind got a hold of that one. And the Orchard Park fans appreciate that as their defense holds after giving up a long pass play down to the 10-yard line. No points.
They got burned. Lancaster was the one where they tried it. They had the fake kick.
Yeah, crazy play that was. Let's look at the replay. Did anybody touch this bird?
He just doesn't get his foot in it. He just doesn't get his foot in it.
Yeah, not enough distance. And again, the wind is strong, and it's a little intimidating if you're a kicker. So if you're the Quakers here, you just want to really contain possession of the football. You take the knee with 15 seconds left. They can't stop the clock, so that'll wind us down and close out the first half of play here. Orchard Park taking advantage of they've been reeling a little bit, but they come up with a little bit of a counter punch and recovering turnover fumbles, Mark, and then they take the ball downfield 74 yards in about 7 plays. They get the only touchdown of the game. So we're going to take a little bit of time here, Mark.
Stopping by. What do you have to do to adjust the second half?
We just have to hold on to the football and play a little more physically than we've been playing in the first half.
Yeah, you look like you came out, moved the ball pretty well. Breaks went against you.
Yeah, we had a couple bad breaks, but we just got to hold on to the football. We can't beat ourselves.
What about Matt Scalise's strong arm? Going to use him a little bit with the wind?
Yeah, the wind's tough in a couple directions. He made a great throw of that wind, and we'll see what happens and what we need to do.
It's always a head knocker game, the coach.
Yeah, it's going to be another one tonight.
All right, good luck to you.
Thanks.
Eric Jancy, fine gentleman, and he wants to get to his club. Back up to you guys.
Well, good job again, Walter Jancy. He was getting both comments from both coaches there. One before the close of the first half and coming up in the second half. But in the first half here, Mark Collins, we had just one touchdown.
Yeah, we can look at it right here, Frank, and that's the bread and butter for OP. Pace just coming off tackle, and as I said, inside the 5-yard line with that much room to run, no one really gets a hold of him. His offensive line does a really nice job, and that series, they went, 74 yards. That was just great execution by the offensive squad.
They mixed the passing with the run just enough to get the points on the board. The only points in the first half. Let's look at the statistics for both teams. It's compiled by Scott Fleetwood, Mark, and as you'd expect, fairly even except for the turnovers.
Yeah, and the Quakers they had that one great drive, 74 yards. You can see 88 on the board there. Passing both pretty even, total yards. It was a, even first half, as you said. The turnovers really killed North Tonawanda.
And good football teams do not commit penalties. You see both teams playing very disciplined football right now, playing with the game itself.
Yeah, this game is really still up for grabs. Is that? Oh, that was Walt for a minute. I was like, no way.
Well, you're right. No way. Good call on your part. You could try, but maybe be once and that'd be it, I would think. As we look at the spectators here on a cold, chilly night with the wind continuing to howl. The other one was the great run by Gregson on 4th down and about 4 yards. He gets the first down and has a great run, maybe 15, 20 yards, and loses it at the end of the run.
Yeah, and I think they're too good of a football team not to come out here in the second half and just, they went in at halftime, regrouped, said, look, we turned it over twice, we're only down 7-0. We moved the football, let's go back out, let's go and do what we do best, let's get a little more physical. That's what the coach said.
Yeah, they need to put a couple of licks on some of the players for Orchard Park and maybe force a turnover to themselves. We've seen a couple of hard hits, but not the typical NT football. Well, North Tonawanda Lumberjacks, they deferred the call of the coin. They won the toss, but deferred their decision to the second half, and they want the football. They're going to go into the win for the third quarter, trailing by 7 points. And the Quakers will be teeing it up at their own 40-yard line. Brian Lally will be doing the kicking. And this will be the conclusion of the Section 6 championships here in Western New York. But don't go away, viewers, because next week we'll be right back against the Rochester Section 5 teams, literally, as they'll come into Ralph Wilson Stadium for playing that game. And then it's on to the playdown, Mark, where basically it's one game and out. The pressure and competition really builds. Win a state championship, it's unbelievable how fierce the competition can be.
Yeah, and when you get down the road a little bit towards Syracuse, Frank, and we've been there before, you're seeing teams at B and A level, and you swear they were double A. I mean, they're just too big, too fast.
And too strong. They really do hit you. The kicker getting ready to approach the football. How about this stat for possession and starting drives? OP. Had to go a lot longer to get the lead. And NT had great field position. Look at this return setting up, and it looks like it's going to be Sheehan again trying to get out over his 20-yard line, and he's just able to do so by a yard or two. As a deep kickoff there, put the ball near the end zone, he was able to bring it back.
That's exactly right, though. That credit to the kicker, Frank. He kicked it deep enough where the wall set up, but Sheehan just couldn't get to the wall in time because he kicked it so far. That's a plus for the kicker.
Well, how about these guys? The band from North Tonawanda. They're out there. They're entertaining. They're trying to get the team motivated, the fans into it. Doing their best under tough weather conditions, but that's what they're out there for.
Yeah, let's see if the offense can set the tone here in their first series.
Quarterback under center. And they're going to get the football to, looks like Davis coming around the left side. He's got room to run up the left sideline, cuts inside, and takes it out over the 30. That's more than enough for the first down. As Andy Davis gets the carry. Andy Davis wearing number 30 here tonight is a 6'1", 172-pound junior. And he ran very effectively that time, got a good block out in front of him.
Yeah, they run a little bit in this direction here. Let's see if we get a little, there's a little one-on-one battle right here.
Yeah, Jakimowicz, number 20 there for the Quakers. Working hard against Justin Gerst, the wide receiver. So first down out to the 32-yard line. Just underway here in the third quarter. There's your possession time. Quarterback keeping it on the option. He's got a good gain going here. And out close to the 39. So a sizable pickup on that play by the option quarterback, Scott Gregson, just a sophomore. You're just tuning in. 5'10", 165 pounds. And a lot of credit goes to him for maybe writing the offensive unit for North Tonawanda back in Game 3. Again, North Tonawanda lost to Orchard Park in Game 1. The score was 22-14. Then they were stretched to overtime against Niagara Falls in Game 2. They put Gregson in to try something different offensively. It's worked out very effectively.
Yeah, he's looked good tonight, Frank. Those two miscues when they fumbled the football, but besides that, he's running the offense well.
They found some way to run outside against the Orchard Park Quakers. The quarterback has it again, and he's going to cut it upfield. Gregson inside the 50, and he's got room to run some more inside the 40, inside the 35, and down to about the 29 or 8-yard line. The chase was on, Mark. Great play by Gregson.
And that's the play right there, Frank. That's where you have to be disciplined because he's very good with the ball. Good ball fake. Watch when he gets to the corner here. He gets the defensive end to bite on the fake pitch, and then he cuts it up right here. See, there you go. He's not disciplined to take the quarterback. He goes with the fake pitch. You know, it's like the carrots out there. You think he's going to pitch it, you're going to pick it off and go all the way. Well, you know what? When he fakes it up, that's your responsibility. He almost breaks it for a touchdown.
He used his blocker very effectively for another 15 yards or so at the conclusion of that run. Well, first down at the 29-yard line for the Lumberjacks, threatening to score. Quarterback again, Gregson tries it one more time, and again a good gain as he takes it to about the 25, a 4-yard pickup. Takes a big hit on the play, slow to get up. But Gregson's run the ball, that's a 4-yard pickup 5 times for 73 yards now.
Again, right here, see, good fake. He sticks it in there long enough and just freezes the linebackers just enough for him to get around the corner. And that's a good pickup on first down. Now it's second and what, 5?
Yeah, just about, a little bit more, maybe 6, but you see as they unpile, he's wrapped up a little bit. As 41, Phillips had to come over and help out on the tackle. Into the wind here in this third quarter. They wanted the football, they're marching upfield. Handoff. No, the quarterback kept it this time, and there was pressure right on top of him as Corey Anderson gets there and knocks him down. And Gregson really never got out of his blocks that time, Mark.
Jason Weber, too. That's a good read. See, we talked about reading the lineman, and they used a little misdirection there. They pulled the lineman, and Weber just goes with the lineman that pulls, and it runs right into the quarterback.
Loss of 2 yards, so it's 3rd and 8. And they are just 1 of 4 on third down conversions. Last time they were down at this end of the field to close out the first half, they missed a field goal try. Long time there as Gregson maybe changing the play. Keeps it, tries the left side, runs into the tackler, and he's just going to plow forward. Close to the first down marker. He'll be just shy of it, down to the 20-yard line, about a yard short of it. Gregson again with good hands, Mark. He's taking some hits, though, and the Quakers are making him pay.
I think that's got to be one of the game plans. You got a younger sophomore. He's not real big, and OP saying, let's put some lumps on this guy. But I got to hand it to him. I think Gregson came out at halftime and said, look, I'm gonna show that I'm the leader of this football team in this drive, and I'm gonna take it upon myself to move the chains. And he's done a nice job. I mean, this is a huge down for NT on offense and a big one for the OP defense.
4th and 1. Gregson keeps it. He's got room to run. Will he dive for the first down? It's going to be close. It depends on the spot as he kept it again. And it looks like they're going to mark him shy of the necessary yardage. Gregson just didn't get enough, and he's talking to his running back. What did you do on that play? They're saying we had the dive play called.
Yeah, and I think that's a bad decision right there, Frank. I mean, right there when you only need that 1 yard.
Yeah, Sheehan probably had it the way he was looking back at the play. Where's the ball? I would have had it. Well, they're going to bring the chains out to measure on 4th and a yard. He maybe got a half of that.
I think he might have got it just by the nose of the football.
You say yes, Scott says no. I'm in the middle of this thing. What's it look like when they put the chains down? No way. Almost a full yard short. First down, so the Quakers again do their job defensively, and Gregson's going to be talked to by Coach Eric Jancy saying, I don't want you doing that.
Right. I said he wanted to show he was the leader, but there comes a time when, you only got a yard to go. It's a little bit easier giving it to your fullback, hitting it up in there, than trying to get to the corner.
This is the old run the plays that I call the way I call them. 1st and 10 for the Quakers. Wide pitch to Andy Pace. Andy Pace getting his first carry of the second half. But look at this run as he's out to the 29-yard line. 9-yard pickup on the play, and it was student body right that time. The old play where you pull everybody and send them out there in front of them.
That's the old USC. It's the toss sweep, and Kellerman gets out in front of him. Kellerman's big enough to be a tackle.
There were a bunch of players running in front of Andy Pace that time. He got 9 yards before the pursuit was able to catch up with him. So the Quakers again starting. That was the average drive start, I believe, in the first half was their own 20-yard line. And there's a handoff, and he's going to get the first down as he cracks out over the 30. That's Pace again. He ran the football a lot in the first half, and he's running it again a lot here in the second half.
All right, we got to have a cheer.
And Walter John Sears is standing by down on the sideline. Let's go down there.
Oh, we got total chaos here. Let's go, girls. We need a cheer. Anything.
Walter John Sears has a long pass upfield and tripped up at the 30-yard line. The wide receiver taking the ball on a great throw by Ciambella. That's Jordan Jakimowicz, the senior at 6'2", 180 pounds. He beat the deep defenders and was on his way to the end zone if he wasn't tripped up.
And I think that's the mismatch they were looking for, Frank. They talked about in the meetings because of his size. They got a nice mismatch. I think he was out against, I think he was 22 for NT.
That was TJ Baker.
Yeah, and he's only 5'5". I mean, that's a 7-inch difference. And when, you know, if you look at it, I don't know if they called it at the line, but you definitely have a mismatch there and just put it out.
Even more, Mark. I think it's 9. 5'5". And 6'2". They throw another pass, and this is caught out of the air at the 22-yard line. Nice reception with the hands made by Ron Fulton. And he's going to be a yard shy of the first down. Fulton getting in, sprinkled into the offense once in a while, playing a lot on defense at the quarterback position.
Ciambella is definitely, this is probably one of his better games he's played all year, Frank.
Well, they're asking him to do a lot here in this game. He's not normally throwing all that much. He's only attempted 108 passes coming into this game.
But he just looks like he's into the flow of the game right there. I mean, he just, you know, he sets back. He looks confident. He's got the strong arm, throwing a tight spiral in a tough wind. And his offensive line gives him a lot of time to throw the football.
Second down and a half a yard. They want to run for this one. They're going to get the first down. To about the 18-yard line goes Andy Pace. Dragged down on the play with a tackle from behind by Steve Julian. Nice tackle there, but again, the Quakers with the wind at their back here in the third quarter. We're under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Looking to maybe put another touchdown on the board. Andy Pace rushing 19 times for 91 yards so far in the game, Mark.
He's quiet, though.
Yeah. Not getting him in big bursts, but he's getting him when he needs him. You know, he's one of those guys just like you see at the professional level. He gets 1 yard, 2 yards, 1 yard, 2 yards, then 12 yards, 13 yards, and back to 2 yards, 3 yards. And by the end of the day, he's got a lot of yardage and a lot of carries. Wide pitch, Pace left side. A lot of blockers out in front. The chase is on from behind, and they were able to pursue him down to about the 26-yard line, about a 3-yard pickup. As he's dropped down the play by Tom Latanzio, the senior tackle, who came from behind to bring him down.
And I gotta, you know, I have to say a lot of nice things about Andy Pace because his dad's the local justice, and I'm in front of him.
Oh, professional! I see how it works.
No, his dad and I are good. His dad and I are good friends. And, he's a great guy. That's how I got to know his son. Actually, I saw him at some of the games, and I said, you know, is your kid playing? He actually plays lacrosse too. Good lacrosse player.
Second down after a 3-yard pickup, almost 4 yards. There's Pace again, cutting it inside the blockers and taking it down to about the 12-yard line, maybe the 13, as he's getting closer and closer to the 100-yard mark. He'll set up a third down and almost 4 yards needed for the first down. So back-to-back 3-yard pickups. He's up to 96. According to our stats man, Scott Fleetwood.
And again, a lot of credit though. Kellerman is the lead blocker and your offensive line doing a nice job both the right and left side, Frank. But with Pace, he's the kind of guy like last year they had Cody Williams. You know, the Williams brothers were here. They're a little bit, you know, more speed, a little breakaway speed, long touchdowns. But you know, a guy like this, boy, he's just consistent.
Well, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. And you see him harry the football again. They pull guards out, tackles out. He cuts it inside. He's going to head for the end zone. He just stumbles short of it. As he was tripped up at about the 6-yard line, he dove a little bit further, trying to get into the end zone. He's down at about the 1.
It's consistency and effort for this kid. I mean, this is a great effort on this play right here. I mean, he shows his speed to get to the corner, but when he cuts it up, you know, he's really decisive. Watch him cut it up right here, and it's just that extra effort. Look at this. Look at this.
Oh, and his own man got him down. Kellerman couldn't get his knee out of the way. That is what prevented Andy Pace from getting into the end zone. Well, anyway, they're looking at the goal line right here. First and goal from the 1. Ciambella brings him out. This is going to be a tough touchdown to come back from if you're North Tonawanda. There's Pace, dropped, and he's in for the touchdown. Didn't know if he made it, but he stretched it out over the plane of the goal line and gets it in for the touchdown. That's the second of the game for him, and the Orchard Park Quakers are up 13-0 here in the third quarter.
And now they're just, you know, they're on a roll offensively. So much confidence. Offensive line, everything's clicking. They're running the ball to the right side, to the left side. And Pace he's got that little, you know, he reads well. I mean, to get the end zone there, didn't need much.
Brian Lally to try the extra point. He's 1 for 1, and it looks pretty good here. And it is 2 for 2 of the night, and a 14-0 lead for the Orchard Park Quakers. 3:51 left in the third quarter. That was an impressive 80-yard scoring drive. 6 plays, Mark. 4 minutes and 15 seconds off the clock. The long pass to Jakimowicz was the big play again.
Yeah, and here's a look at the touchdown. So there's, you know, like I said, just kind of a little slides off a little bit of a block there just to get into the end zone. And you know what's nice when you see a kid like Pacey carried it all the way down there. Sometimes they'll give it to the fullback and he'll get the touchdown. They give it to him and he gets his touchdown.
Let's go down to the sidelines once more as we're taking a look at, well, let's see, if this is a mascot, who is that face modeled after? Mark, you know anybody in Orchard Park that has a face like that, mask time at Halloween or something? It's interesting that that's called a Quaker. Doesn't look like one of those Quaker guys with the little hat on his head. Anyway, mascot's having a good time out there.
Well, they need some big plays here. I mean,
Yeah,
North Tonawanda need a spark to get them back in the football game, and maybe we will see Scalise now. I mean, maybe now he has to go to Scalise. As Gene Tunnell said, I would. I mean, he may have to.
Well, we've got the 3:51 left, and I'll say this: they moved the ball effectively. They just hurt themselves with fumbles, and that last fourth down miss was almost like a turnover. It actually was, as they gave the ball over to the Orchard Park Quakers. The Quakers answer with that miscue on 4th and 1, Mark, with a drive right back in your face and a score. So the Quakers have been in this kind of pressure situation before. The sophomore quarterback maybe making the wrong choice on that play, but I don't know if I'd give up on those option plays because he's getting good yardage.
Yeah, but right now, when you see Orchard Park, the 2 long sustained drives, 74 yards, that long one there, if you score a touchdown, they look like they're going to move the football the rest of the night. I think they're going to score a couple quick ones.
Look at this kick. That's through the end zone. More than enough. Off the foot of Brian Lally. He bangs another kick deep, and that one's not going to be returned as they bring the North Tonawanda Lumberjacks offense out of the field to the 20-yard line.
You don't think that those are real big plays, Frank, but if you go in the playoffs and as you go along, and special teams, especially a kicker like that, if he's kicking them out of the end zone, we talk about when you get in the state finals, there's a lot of guys that can run them back for touchdowns.
Oh, yeah.
If you're kicking them out of the end zone, that could be a big play.
Well, let's see who's in at quarterback here for this drive. Looks like number 7 from what I can see. And it's Gregson. Ran the option very effectively. They started just about the same place, but were stalled at the 20-yard line of the Quakers. And there's Gregson running the option. This time they bottled him up a little better and knocked him down after a 3-yard pickup on the play.
The question is, he's going to finish the game if he keeps on running the option and carrying as many times as he is there in the second half.
You can see he's a good athlete. You see
again there. Again there, though, they almost get the ball stuck when it almost comes loose.
Well, Jason Weber knocked that running back down there, Sean Chabetta. And Jason, I think, is one of those guys, if you come near me, I'm going to hit you.
Yeah, even if you're on his team.
Exactly. Just be prepared, because I'm going to come after you. They say he gets about 3 yards, a second down and a long 7 here. There you see our score late into the 3rd quarter. Sheehan with the wide pitch, and there's a flag down. They're going to stop the action here before it gets underway. That's on the offense. Most times for a false start or a procedure call.
False start. Offense, replay, second down.
Eric Jancy's got to be a little bit fuddled here. Came in with a good game plan, running the football effectively, and got to find a way right now. Watch your team falling apart with these kind of cheap penalties, Mark. We've had a very clean game penalty-wise. Second down and about 12 yards. Quarterback. Did he fumble the ball again? Do you believe that? He fumbled it one more time, and the Quakers think they have it, and it looks like they do. The officials gathering around, wondering if they going to make the call to go the other way. Gregson looked like he was bothered immediately on the play. Yeah, they're going to say the Quakers come up with another turnover.
That's what we talked about, Frank, that veer option. I mean, again there, it looks like it was stuck between the QB and his dive back, and just indecisive whether or not to pull it out or leave it in. Yeah, again, see, there it is again.
He was going to pull it out.
Yeah.
The running back, he got too close together. And then the football's loose, and you see it finally pop out and recovered by Corey Anderson. Now, we've called his number a lot, number 59, in this football game. So how about this break again for the Quakers inside the 20-yard line of the Lumberjacks? Yeah, the Quakers are going to call this time as the flags come down. But, Mark, you cannot beat a Quaker team when you're turning the football over like this. They did this exactly the same way in game number 1 of the season. 3 turnovers were costly.
Dead ball. False start.
Yeah.
Offense.
We talked
Replay.
about it, Frank.
First down.
That's what's happening. I mean, that fake is it's supposed to be in and out pretty quick on that dive. But he's leaving it there. And maybe he's, he is only a sophomore. They run the offense, they look good, but you can't leave it there where your fullback is just going to keep, he's going to carry out the fake on the dive, and he's getting, like I said, there's some heavy traffic in there. If the ball's stuck in between him and the defensive player, it's coming out.
You saw it on the play there. There's a swing pass out. This is going to be Latke. Latke cut down after a short pickup, and hey, they're going to throw a flag on the play, but it's got to be a face mask. As Latke said, yeah, they got me on the face mask. That's going to be an automatic first down.
And now they're starting to unravel. And that's
hold on here. The official signaled a penalty against Orchard Park. I was a little surprised at where the flag was thrown. It was just the receiver out there. We'll have to see what happened. Maybe Latke grabbed the face mask of the defender there. Let's wait for the call.
Block in the back. Offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, first down.
The play block in the back occurred just a little bit away from the reception. There's the block right there from Murphy. That's why the flag was thrown near the ball. Well, that pushes the Quakers back to about the 31. And if you're the Lumberjacks, you cannot give up points here. You cannot fall behind by more than 2 touchdowns. And hope to win the game. 2 minutes and 5 seconds left here in the third quarter. Ciambella's looking to throw. Steps into this one, and it's almost, yes, it is intercepted. Travis Traber, I believe he took it off the turf. Let's see for the call. It is. It's an interception. Ciambella overthrew his intended receiver.
I was just about to say, that's a pretty gutsy call by old Peter in putting it up with the lead and running the football the way they have been running, especially with field position, Frank. But they put it up and they paid dearly for it. But Traber's a kid. He shows how good of a receiver is here. But see, I was thinking it's pretty gutsy. Good pressure, though. Good pressure on the quarterback.
Well, he had a good look, though, I thought. Maybe more than he would have expected. But you see, just overthrew him, and Traber got underneath it. Nice play by Travis Traber. 6'1", 170-pound senior. Playing the deep safety position.
And that's exactly what they needed. They needed to turn over the football.
Wide pitch. Sheehan looking for room to run, cuts it inside, and he's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage on that wide pitch. You know, Mark, he's catching the ball literally about 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, good play by Murphy, too. He's had a really good football game. He's been really disciplined at defensive end. He's been, all his assignments, he's been reading them well. That one he gets out there. But I'm really surprised with Cheam that they've been running, been using the way they have, Frank. The only game I saw him play, they used this little counter play. He ran for about 165 yards, and they haven't run the counter play all day.
I haven't seen it. You're right. Let's see. We've got a loss of a yard on that one. 1:15 left. Quarterback has it again. Wow, late pitch there, high up into the air. This is going to be enough for the first down, though. As the running back is run out of bounds, that's Andy Davis with a burst of speed away from the defenders. That was a tough toss and catch on that one.
That's very dangerous right there, because that is too late to toss the football. He gets away with one right here. Watch, this is really too late. He's already upfield. He just...
Well, maybe he drew the defender just enough. I hope he doesn't try it again, though. That thing could be going back into the other end zone.
He wasn't even looking, though. Just, I mean, he almost had that one picked off.
Mitchell goes 6'2", and he tossed it over Mitchell's head there, number 82 for the Quakers. Well, he runs out of bounds, so that stops the clock, but a first down out to the 29. Gregson maybe changing the play there. Keeps it again, and tries to cut in behind the dive running back this time, and Corey Anderson knocks him down, number 59. We talked about Corey a lot in this game. He's been in the line of scrimmage defensively for a good portion of this second half, and a lot in the first half, actually. He was 5'11", 180 pounds, not the biggest guy on the defensive line, Mark, but he's very aggressive.
Yeah, they've had their defensive unit has done a nice job. They've been solid. They've been tackling well, too. I mean, interiorly, they've been tackling. They get some pressure up in the middle. But here, like I said, I just think I'm getting a little sense that Grayson is kind of falling apart a little bit.
Got the ball, and he's in trouble. And he's going to lose yardage. Back inside his 30-yard line to the 28-yard line. The clock is moving down to 20 seconds left here in the third quarter. And he's going to be looking at third and long here. Third and 11.
I'm getting the sense that, they're starting to realize that he's only a sophomore. Now they got him where they want him, and they're really starting to put some pressure on, and I think it's getting to him a little bit.
And Orchard Park, with 11 seconds left, uses one of their timeouts to force NT into a third down play, thinking that NT is going to pass on third down. If it's incomplete, then NT has to punt into the wind.
Yeah, and when you think about it, Frank, when he's only a sophomore, and this year he didn't come right out the first game. It was probably the third, fourth game they started playing him a little bit more. So, but this is obviously the biggest game he's ever played in. A playoff game at this level.
Well, Gene Tundo using one of the 3 timeouts available to him here in the second half, trying to take advantage of the wind, which is still gusting pretty good down in the field. You saw that. You see the hats and the hair blowing around a little bit on some of the players on the sidelines. But that wind, if you get the NT team to punt or throw into the wind mark on 3rd and 11, anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good timeout right here. You can force them. I don't know. We'll see if they take a...
Well, you're looking at 3rd and 11 at this field position.
They may take a delay of game here.
Clock won't start until the ball is snapped. 3rd down conversion is just 1 of 5. Quarterback dropping back. He's looking over the middle. He throws a long one, and it's going to be, it was in the hands and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Travis Traber, as Fulton had the coverage again. Looked like Traber had his hands on that one, Mark.
Yeah, that's a catchable football right there. I talked about him. He is a very good receiver, has good hands. I think he lets that one get into his body, though, Frank. The ball's put right where he has it, because it looks like he makes the catch. He drops it at the last minute. It's a good pass here by Gregson. He just puts it up. Yeah, I think he lets it get into his shoulder pads a little bit instead of catching it with his hands.
Got to the numbers on his jersey. Well, they're punting into the wind now. 4th down. Fetterman, pressure on, and Fetterman takes a bump, and they say no, there is no contact for a penalty. A good kick by Fetterman. Look at this roll.
I think the official called that he actually got a piece of the football.
That's exactly what happened. They're still not touching it, and the clock is going to wind down to close out the 3rd quarter of play. The Orchard Park Quakers will get possession at their own 31-yard line. Hey, we've got a good game going on here. Orchard Park hanging on to a 14-0 lead. They'll have the football to start the 4th quarter. You're back here at Ralph Wilson Stadium as we open up the 4th quarter of play. Frank Stewart along with Mark Collins up in the booth. Walter John Sears down on the sideline. Scott Fleetwood working as the stats man for this one. As you see Andy Pace open up the 4th quarter with almost a helmet-to-helmet hit there. As number 31, the safety, Jeff Miller, came up to make the contact. 3-yard pickup on the play out to the 35-yard line. Make that 4 yards out to the 35. So 2nd and 6. Quakers would love to kill a lot of clock here on this drive, Mark. Julian tries to blitz, and Pace makes him pay as he takes it to the outside and down the sideline. Andy Pace all the way upfield. But a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Probably going to get a hold on the corner there, but I'll tell you, Pace is showing what, the kind of back he is, Frank. He's getting better as this game goes on.
Well, they're going to push him back. They don't want to allow to maintain this offensive play. If you're North Tonawanda, you want to push Orchard Park back as far as possible and into the wind.
Yeah, and hopefully get another turnover.
Yeah, they intercepted the last Orchard Park offensive series with Travis Traber coming up with the turnover. And this one's going to be marked as the spot of the foul. Look at the replay.
It's usually on the corner there. You're going to get a hold.
On the offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, 2nd down.
Looked like Scalise was trying to chase, and somebody had his jersey stretched out a little bit, so that might have been the call.
If you're going to hold, he's the guy to be holding.
Yeah, exactly. Hold him away from the football. Well, after the penalty, it's going to set up a 2nd and 16 situation. An I formation with Pace the deep back behind Kellerman the up back. That's the way it's been all game, with Fulton getting in occasionally. There's the wide pitch. Andy Pace, he's in trouble. And he's able to get back to the 25-yard line. That's a loss of a yard. And hitting him there, quite a few players for the defense, including the tackle on the defensive line, Tom Latanzio. But this breaks down quickly, Mark.
Yeah, and a lot of credit to the defense. They did good penetration. Everyone went with the flow and then just kind of ganged up on Pace. And this is really not where Orchard Park wants to be. 3rd and long. I think they're going to probably play this one probably close to the vest right now, Frank, and then just try and kick it out of there.
They're 4 of 7 on 3rd downs, but this is a lot tougher situation. Almost 17 yards needed into the wind. Quarterback Ciabella's thrown well. Pressure coming. The blitz is on. He's got time, though, and now he hands it off, and it's up the middle of the field. as it was like a little bit of a late handoff in the backfield, Mark. They were able to get the ball at the 35-yard line. They had me full down the play. Andy Pace with the carry.
Delayed draw. Boy, that was great execution because it looked like a pass play, like the offensive line they set up as a block, pass block, and then they just give it a late handoff to Pace. And he almost picks up the first down.
Scalise didn't get fooled on the play, so they're going to be punting into a strong breeze. There's the kicker, Matt Solomon, punted 4 times. We're 22 yards on the average. So he struggled a little bit into this wind. And this one's going to be grabbed by the wind, and let's see what happens with it. Oh, it takes a great OP bounce. Look at the yardage picked up on this forward roll. All the way down inside the 30 and rests at the 26-yard line. So a good kick there for Matt Solomon, averaging 34 yards on the season and averaging 22 tonight. That's a big help right there.
Very fortunate to get that type of a roll, Frank, because it was kind of an end-over-end kick, and look, it was actually fluttering back towards
the other way,
Orchard Park.
Well, it turned out to be a 38-yard punt, and most of that, about 18 yards of it, came on the roll. So, let's see who's at quarterback. It still is Gregson, the super sophomore for North Tonawanda. From his own 26-yard line, 9:36 left in the fourth quarter. They're down by 2 touchdowns. He drops back. He has time. He's in a little trouble now, looking to set himself up. He still has time. And now he's looking to run. He throws a pass upfield, and he threw it too far as his wide receiver was trying to break away from the pack there. And that's actually not a wide receiver. That's number 34 out of the backfield, Billy Sheehan. And that play broke down almost immediately. Markey had plenty of time, but nobody to throw it to.
Yeah, that's because of the coverage in the secondary. They did a great job.
Look at the protection back there.
And here, as I said, I think they got the sophomore kind of, he's definitely dancing a little bit in the back there, Frank. And I just don't see with Scalise. He's such a good athlete. I don't see him on the field enough.
Randy Surface brought him down as he threw the ball away. It was an incomplete pass. It was 2nd and 10. Got a wide receiver out to the left side. Almost passing situations in every play here. Quarterback keeps this one, calls his own number, and Gregson gets about 5 yards out over the 30 to the 31, where a bunch of tacklers bring him down.
Yeah, Orchard Park. I mean, they're gonna sit back. They're not gonna get in the prevent, but they're sitting back on defense, and they know that they don't want to give up the big play. They're gonna sit back a little bit and take a little longer read on this option, make sure that Gregson doesn't get into the open field, and they're not gonna let anyone beat him deep.
Vince Calabro, the linebacker, in on the tackle there, number 90. Under 9 minutes to go. Big 3rd down play here for the Lumberjacks. Will they run or will they pass? The running play set up. The quarterback has it. He's into the secondary. He's got a lot of room to run. This is Gregson down the right sideline. Breaks away from that tackle. He's finally knocked out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. This guy likes the contact. Scott Gregson showing great balance and good speed. And Mark, when it comes time to hitting somebody, he's not afraid at all.
Yeah, this is a great read right here, Frank. He just gets to the corner again. You see OP, they overextend themselves, and he cuts it back. And this is what you like. I mean, he's only a sophomore. Boy, he doesn't run out of bounds, does he?
No, he didn't. He could have stepped out of bounds without the contact. He wanted the contact, and he got it from Fulton, who knocked him out of bounds. So 1st down on a big 3rd down conversion all the way down to the 34-yard line. They've got time if they can score. Dropping back, quarterback keeper, and he's going to be wrapped up in the backfield. Maybe getting back to the line of scrimmage as number 78 on the defense there for the Orchard Park Quakers came up and closed quickly. And that is Timisalu Ashakanlu. Mark?
That's a big play right there. I'm glad you called.
6'1", 215-pounder.
But here, Gregson, I think he's trying to do a little bit too much on his own right here. I mean, he's got some guys getting down there that can catch the football. It's a little delayed draw quarterback, but I think they got to put it up in the air. They got 7 minutes. They need 2 scores.
Yeah, it's that time. Take your chances. If it was 1 touchdown, that's a whole different game. But 2, you got to get on the board and get there quick. Quarterback handing off to Andy Davis around the left side. Davis with good balance breaks inside the 30-yard line to the 29, and maybe down to the 28-yard line. So a nice pickup of about 7 yards there for Andy Davis around the left side. He's carried the ball effectively. 5 carries in the football game for about 36 yards. getting these hand signals down here from Scott Fleetwood.
Yeah, he's been getting to the corner. That play's been working, catching Orchard Park a little bit off balance, but again, Frank, they got to put one on the board here real soon.
Well, it's 2-down territory from here to get 4 yards. Quarterback keeps it. He's tripped up and he's dropped. A loss of yardage. Back to the 30. They lose 2. Quarterback Gregson trying to roll out to his left side, and now they're looking at 4th down and about 6. Labro in on the tackle along with Ashinkalu. As you see Ashinkalu get down below the blocker and trip up the quarterback. 6:26. Time is running out on the North Tonawanda Lumberjacks. You see his work today. 130 yards carrying the football, but no TDs. At least not yet. Dropping back. Time he throws, receiver's there, and it's caught. And that should be enough for the first down, close to the 22-yard line. Not by much, but just enough for the intended receiver, Justin Gurse.
That's a big pass play right there. Gregson just steps up in the pocket and delivers a strike.
Defended pretty well there that time by Jordan Jakimowicz, but just a half a step late to the football. So first down pickup on a 4th down conversion. Keeping this drive alive. Wide pitch. Oh, it's a reverse. And this is Gurse. He's got blockers out in front of him. Gurse trying to get away from one tackler, maintains his balance and bounces inside the 20. There's a flag down. Oh boy. Oh no, that play looked like touchdown to me.
Yeah, it should have been a touchdown. That was a great defensive play by, I tried getting a number in the 40s for Orchard Park, but he had a line of blockers, Frank.
Yeah, he said the defender sidestepped the blocker, and that's the block apparently that was for the holding call it was called. There you see it.
Right there.
Yep, number 40 for the Orchard Park Quakers.
Offense. 10-yard penalty.
That's Varela.
Varela, that was a
replay, first down.
Big play by Varela. He stops. That's a touchdown right there. He had about 4 guys out in front of him.
North Tonawanda needed to avoid penalties in the game, the critical times, and that was a critical time. That should have been a touchdown.
Yeah, those were big keys. Penalties, turnovers.
Well, they get the first down back as the quarterback, a late pitch, a fumble. It's loose, and it's going to go out of bounds. As recovering the football was Sheehan. He actually forced out of bounds, and not much of a gain, maybe a yard or 2. As the pitch came late and it wasn't handled well.
You know, when you look at the stats for the quarterback standpoint, they'll be up by a couple scores, but it's been 2 or 3 plays that they haven't been able to execute, and they've turned the ball over and picked up some big penalties and really hurt them.
5:18 left. The clock is stopped as he went out of bounds chasing the football right there. Dropping back. Has time. Throws to the corner of the end zone. The receiver's there. It's caught for the touchdown. Gregson redeems himself with a 25-yard scoring touchdown pass. A beautiful throw. The defender looked back and the ball went right over his head into the arms of the receiver. How about that for Billy Sheehan?
Billy Sheehan out of the backfield. Now he gets a little coming out of the backfield. He's picking up a linebacker with a little more speed. Sheehan gets behind him, and that's a beautiful pass. Put it right on the money.
Fetterman with the gas lets the air out of his system. A critical extra point here as he puts the kick into it, and it's up, and it is good. So with 5:11 left here in the 4th quarter, the North Tonawanda Lumberjacks cut into the lead. They trail 14-7. We've got a football game now, Mark.
Here's a look at it here. You know, a lot of credit to the offensive line, Frank. He's standing in that pocket. You know, he's got all kinds of time. But a beautiful strike. Throws it to the outside shoulder. Sheehan with a nice catch. I mean, that's a tough catch. It's coming down. Here's a look at it right here. Good camera angle. Nice catch. Gets behind the free safety. And big touchdown. And now there's 5 minutes left.
And Orchard Park going into the wind. NT with 3 timeouts available to them. They would need a defensive stand, and they're going to get a lot of Andy Pace coming at them, I think. There's Eric Jancy. It's finally happened. We're on the board. And so many chances. We've given up the ball on turnovers so many times.
Yeah, he's got to feel a little bit.
How about a review of the Section 6 weekend here at Ralph Wilson Stadium, Mark?
You see them in a lot of close football games, a lot of good football games. I know that said someone that drove through Ellicottville today, and they said they're celebrating down there, Frank. Big win for Ellicottville. Falconer comes in. And you see right there, Southwestern only in today. That's another nail-biter. Newport and Erica. So you did that game. I was watching. I couldn't believe that one.
What a turnaround. It was 14-3, and Newport just couldn't hold on, and Iroquois comes from behind to win 18-14.
Now, does this game have a similar ending or what? I mean, it's 14-7, 5 minutes to go, and OP kind of dominated up to this point, and that was a big touchdown pass for
Let's
NT.
see what Fetterman does as he boots this one way back. And into the end zone. No return there for Ron Fulton. Good idea, Ron. As he just downs it there in the end zone. So the Quakers will get possession at their own 20-yard line. Mark, they moved the ball upfield, but they've had the wind at their back in a lot of situations in this second half. Or pardon me, for the second half of the third quarter when they scored that second touchdown, they used the wind to throw passes.
Yeah, well, this is where you call on your offensive line. They've been doing a nice job all night long, and you call on your tailback that's been consistent, and obviously the defense, this is a big challenge right here, and they got to turn it back over and give it to their offense.
Pace is the single setback, and he's going to get the football right up the middle of the field. Andy Pace dropped at the 29-yard line. Good open field tackle by T.J. Baker, the 5'5", 153-pound senior. Had to make the play. Hey, Walter John Sears ready down on the sidelines.
Yeah, this is a tough team for North Tonawanda to get by. I'll tell you why. North Tonawanda was 8-0 last year going into the playoffs, ranked number 1, and they were upset by Orchard Park 19-3. Then they lost them this year at their home park 28-14 right here on A13 in the first game. If they happen to lose this game, and they're down 7 right now, they would be 16-3 in the last 19 game, guys. All 3 losses would come to Orchard Park. Back upstairs.
Well, that's just amazing when you come across a rivalry and an arch nemesis. Well, obviously, Orchard Park has been that way for the North Tonawanda Lumberjacks. Pace comes up a little bit tender there as he's thinking about going to the sidelines, but he's looking at a third down and about a yard. They got him right at the line of scrimmage. Good pressure into the backfield to blow up that one.
Take a look. That's the play they've been successful with all day long, but it's tough time right now in the defense. This is a big play. They hold him here, Frank.
Under 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. 3 timeouts remaining. There's a handoff, and they stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. It depends on the official's spot, and I think they're going to give him forward progress. Players unpiling. Who's got the football? NT came away from it, but they say Orchard Park has enough for the first down, and here comes Andy Pace. And that's not a good sign as you bring in a fresh running back this late in the game. Andy Pace with all those carries, 28 for 144 yards and both touchdowns. You bring in a fresh back at this point, Mark, it could be trouble.
Yeah, I'm surprised they don't. They're going to probably get him over there, take it off, and tape it up as quick as they can and get him back in the football game.
3:33 and counting down, a first down and a fresh set of downs for the Orchard Park Quakers. NT's going to have to start using timeouts. Handoff, new running back, and he's dropped right there at the 31, maybe the 32-yard line. And into the game is number 40 for Orchard Park, handling the football.
Timeout.
And that is
North
Joe
Tonawanda.
Caligari, 5'9", 170-pound junior. They say this guy can fly. Caligari runs a 4.5 40 mark, and he can take it to the house anytime.
Yeah, but right now, you want the guy that's been in there all night long, and he's sitting on the bench.
NT took the timeout. That's their first used up in this second half as they stopped the clock with 3:22 left in the fourth quarter. It was almost a no-gain pickup on the play.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a good time to call timeout when you have Pace sitting on the sideline and they're trying to doctor him up and get him back in. This gives them a little extra time, and you see them, they're working on him. They're just taping it up. They're going to tape their ankle up. And, yeah, I'll tell you, I'd want the offense to run a couple more plays with him on the bench.
Well, it's been a great night, a great day, a great weekend for football out of Section 6. Andy Pace putting the gloves back on. He's going to be out maybe for one more play as he works his way up to the coaching staff to get ready for the next play call. They have Caligari lined up behind the quarterback. He's the sole setback. Well, check that. Kellerman's in front of him. Second down, almost 10. There it is, Caligari. Tripped up as he slides out over the 32, maybe the 33-yard line. Caligari is going to be substituted for, I would think, as Ciambella comes to the timeout. And again, after that short pickup, NT uses another timeout.
But I think what Eric Jancy's saying is this is it. Man, we got to stop on this series. And here's a look at it right here. Same play they ran. They're just trying to run a little clock right now, Frank. It's 3rd down, and obviously, I don't think they're.
This could be the play of the season, obviously, with 3:18 left. I mean, maybe everybody has an opinion about when to use your timeouts. I think maybe that was the right time to use it, just for the fact that they forced him into a 3rd and long. And that new running back, he's squeezing that football tight. He's not going to give it up, but that also takes you out of your normal running rhythm. As a back, you want to go with positive motivation or momentum forward.
Yeah, and
then I'm sure Caligari's thinking, I just got to hang on to this thing.
Yeah, and it's nice having Pace back in there. I mean, you're a lot more comfortable.
There's the ankle.
He's the guy that's got he's the guy that got you to where you're at right now. Plus, you can also use him a lot too. You fake to him. I mean, they think he's going to get the football in his carry. There's no doubt about it. So you always have that factor. But this is a big down, and Eric Chancey said we got to stop him right here.
3rd down, almost 8 yards to go for the first. Pressure coming, delayed handoff. This is Pace. Pace has room to run. Pace is going to get the first down. A huge pickup and a good play call there. As Andy Pace takes the ball out to the 46-yard line.
But again, Frank, we talked about it. He was sitting on the bench getting taped up, and they called that timeout. It gave him enough time to come back in a play later, and here he is. I cannot believe they did not key on him on this play. I mean, I said use him as a decoy because, you think he's going to get the football and on a draw play, and they just no one there in the middle.
Now they're in big trouble if you're a North Tonawanda Lumberjack fan. Under 3 minutes to go, the clock moves very fast in high school football. We got 1 timeout left for the Lumberjacks. This is Pace running sideline to sideline, trying to just hang on to the football and use clock. He loses a yard or two, but it doesn't matter at this point as far as he's concerned.
Yeah, and that's a sign of a very good offensive football team when you know they're going to give it to Pace, that their line can still block and he can still pick up that first down. It's kind of like when you give it to Curtis Martin. You can't stop them. They're just good backs, and they got a good offensive line. And they don't care what the situation is. They're going to pick up the first down.
You're absolutely right about that. I mean, if you know he's getting the football and you still can't stop him, that says a lot about the way he can run and the way the offensive line is blocking for him. Well, they used their last time out, and Pace was limping, heading towards the sidelines. I'm not sure that he's going back in either, as he's along the near sideline for the Quakers. We'll tell you that unofficially, well, let's make it officially with Scott Fleetwood. How many total carries is that, Scott? 24? 30. That was close. He's giving me the finger thing again.
30. I mean, 30 carries. That's a day's work.
For 150.
30 carries. When you got guys like Scalise on the other side of the football, I mean, that's a good football team over there. They'll hit you in 30 carries.
He's out of the game, and they're going to go to the fullback Kellerman for a few yards. After the loss of 1, Kellerman gets back for 4 more, so sets up a 3rd down now and 3. They cannot stop the clock.
I'll tell you, Kellerman, you see right there for the season, he had a good season, but he played extremely well, just as a lead blocker, and then he's come up with a couple big carries. They gave him on that 3rd and short. He picked up a first down. Right now, he's going to get the football again because he's going to hold. He's going to give it a bear hug, and he's going to kill some clock here. But he's had a good football game in the front. Their front 4 really done a nice job.
Well, 3rd down. If they stop here, they will get a chance to get their hands on the football. This is Caligari, and he's going to be stacked up at the line of scrimmage and go down just inside NT territory, down to about the 49-yard line. So Caligari gets the carry that time, and Pace's ankle's got to be bothering him, Mark, not to be out there, taped or not. He's still on the side. In fact, he's getting some water down there near the bench area. You see, they all gang tackle Caligari. But the Quakers will have to punt, and they'll be doing so with probably 1 minute and 30
well, you remember the old
left in this 4th quarter.
Lackawanna game at Syracuse, they had to punt, but they didn't want it because they didn't want the other team to get the ball back, and they faked it, which I know they're going to do here. But
that's 87. Matt Solomon, 38-yard punt his last time, and this is into the wind. Pressure coming, and he gets it away. Floater, and will it be fielded? Takes a bounce this time for Lumberjacks, and it's going to be down at the 32-yard line. Well, NT with no timeouts, 1:12 left. They need to score a touchdown to win. Can it be done?
Well, after the last series, I mean, and here they're bringing in Scalise. It looks like, yes, as a quarterback. Now, how unfortunate is that for the sophomore? He just throws a nice touchdown pass, but they got to bring in the big, strong arm.
They're going with
they know they got to throw the football.
The standard quarterback, Matt Scalise, 6'1", 230 pounds. Started the season at quarterback. He's got a strong arm. The wind's at his back. Receivers out to either side. They're going to go maximum protection. Now they send him out, and Scalise gets away, not from 2, though. A fumble? No, it's not a fumble, but he's sacked in the backfield as the Quakers put pressure on him. Scalise dropped back, Mark. Everybody went out on the pattern. They didn't protect him as well as they could have. And he's sacked.
Jason Weber, when we had him at the meetings, he just looks like a football player.
Scary.
I didn't want to sit too close to him. He just put a lot of pressure out there.
Scalise, pressure coming from Murphy, and Scalise is going to maintain his balance and try and cut it upfield and get back to the original line of scrimmage. 40 seconds left and the clock will not be stopped. As they got to reline up again.
And those were the two, Frank, Weber and Murphy. They both said, they were sitting there like, and I asked them, I said, you guys going to put pressure on him? And they said, yeah, we're coming.
27 seconds left. 3rd down and 10 yards for the first down. Quarterback, Scalise has time, steps and throws a long pass down the left side. The receiver was bumped with the defensive back, no flags. As it looked like Fulton is looking back at the official saying, did he knock me down or did he knock me down? Yeah. Draper trying to get separation. Literally hauled him down.
That was actually a good no call because if anything, it would probably have been offensive interference, but a good no call because they let him play.
Oh, we got isolation on. Let's see what happens here. Does he drag him down?
Orchard Park.
Yeah, little shove. But that's called normally.
Yeah, incidental contact. Good no call.
4th down, 16 seconds left for the NT Lumberjacks. Well, it's been a great year for the Lumberjacks, but unfortunately they run up against the Orchard Park Quakers.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, you got to feel for Grayson. What a ball game for a sophomore. He throws that last touchdown. He ran for over 130 yards. And
well, you're seeing a star of the making. He's just a little bit young, and a couple of decisions maybe not going the way his teammates or his coach would have liked. But you look back in retrospect, he's got a couple of years ahead of him as a junior and senior at NT, and he will be a playmaker.
He's just sitting on that sideline, just dying to be in there for this last series.
Well, they're going with the senior Matt Scalise, maybe throwing his last pass right here of his high school career as a football player. But they go on and play college. Pressure coming. Steps up, throws. Receiver's got it at the 45-yard line. Clock is running under 10 seconds, and they say he was downed at the 45, and that's going to stop the clock as they move the chains up. 10 seconds left. Do they have time to get a play or two? Scalise ready to go. They'll wind the clock right there. 9 seconds, 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Scalise spikes it with 7. Well, you take a shot maybe to the end zone right here and hope maybe for an interference call.
All right, Scalise, he's probably got a strong enough arm to throw it at least to get it close to the end zone, Frank, from where they're at.
Yeah, with the wind at his back, if he gets it up in the air, he might be able to throw it 55 or 60.
Gene looks like he thinks he can throw it 55 or 60.
Well, what's he saying? All the coaches are saying, get back. Get back. Everybody, get back. That's coaching. Right to the last play.
I think they're going to put some pressure on him. I wouldn't sit back. I'd come after him.
They have 4 down linemen. Scalise. He's in trouble. Now he sidesteps. He's in trouble. He's going to try and run for something here to the left sideline. The clock is down to 0-0. Scalise goes down. The game is over. And the Orchard Park Quakers are going to advance to the Far West Regionals. How about those Quakers? A huge victory here in Orchard Park for the Orchard Park Quakers. And Mark, they're going to get a chance to get past that hurdle. The Far West Regional games on the horizon. They can't seem to get past it. They'll try it again.
And maybe this will be their year, Frank. I mean, this is a different kind of team. They don't, like I said, they don't have one real big, superstar in the backfield, this and that. But they're a solid football team. They showed it tonight, boys. Some solid drives on the offensive side of the ball. 74-yard touchdown, another long one. Real solid on offense. And you saw their defense. Their defense is very good. They have some big boys up front. They'll get after you on defense, and it's a solid football team. And I'll tell you, my hats off to the coaches too. I think they did a nice job.
Absolutely. And we talked to the coaches, and they made the appropriate adjustments. Well, it's been an outstanding weekend of football here at Ralph Wilson Stadium for us from the 813 crew members. For all of the guys, Brendan McDaniel, Steve Flemish, Walter John Sears, Mark Collins, myself, up here, Frank Stewart. It's been a wild and woolly one in the AA Championship. It's Orchard Park 14, North Tonawanda 7. Orchard Park moves on to next week's game.